Hello everyone, my name is Ashfi Aurizha and I will explain again the two materials that were presented by my friends last week. The materials are The Evolution of Poetry by Group 3 and Genres of Poetry by Group 4. Firstly, I will explain the material from Group 3, The Evolution of Poetry. This material explains the evolution of poetry from ancient time to the modern era. It begins by showing that poetry started in the early oral tradition, where people used rhythm and repetition to tell stories and preserve culture such as in the Epic of Gilgamesh. This material highlights key features of poetry development, including the shift from oral to writer forms, the move from straight rhyme and meter to free verse, and the expansion of theme from mythology to emotion and social issue. It also explains the importance of studying poetry, such as understanding history, appreciating different poetry styles, exploring language and emotion, and developing creativity and critical thinking. This PPT then outlined the major historical periods of poetry: Greek and Roman periods, the Middle Age, the Renaissance, the Enlightenment, the Romantic era, the Victorian period, modern and contemporary poetry. Finally, the conclusion emphasized that poetry is a living art that changes with culture and time, evolving from heroic storytelling into a form that expresses human emotion, identity, and social awareness. And now, I will explain the material from Group 4, Genres of Poetry. This material discusses the three major genres of poetry and explains their characteristics, types, and examples. First, lyric poetry, which focuses on personal emotion and feelings. Using musical and expressive language, it describes moment or emotion rather than telling a story. Examples include ode, elegy, sonnet, and haiku. Second, narrative poetry, which tells a story through verse, including characters, plot, and setting. It often uses rhyme, imagery, and symbolism. Examples include epic, ballad, allegory, and burlesque. Third, dramatic poetry, which written to be spoken or performed. It appears in monologue and soliloquy, and often tells a story through dramatic speech. This material concludes that these genres show how poetry can express emotion, tell stories, or be performed dramatically. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you for watching my video.